Radish and
Food of the
ramen.
gods.
Food of God? No. Food of the God is MSG. God like magic white powder. Nigella like the magic white powder also.
Oh my God. Don't do drugs, kids. Drugs are bad. Chef Brian Tsao here, not your typical chef. And today I'm gonna be reacting to Nigella Lawson. So pretty, but can she make ramen by Uncle Roger? Before I go on with today's episode, I do want to give a special shout out to my newest sous chef level patrons, Tyler Crawford, Jules182, Segan Hall, Wanja Link. Guys, thank you so much for your support. And remember, for those of you who are watching, by becoming a patron, you get to take advantage of some awesome perks like early access to new episodes, but most importantly, patron exclusive content.
I've been told in no uncertain...
Hi, just start
Already?
video. And I already see it BBC. And also, why she hang all the colander from the ceiling? Hi, Nigella, you millionaire woman, but you can't afford one drawer.
Actually, having that set up above your kitchen island to hang all your stuff is pretty badass and probably more akin to a professional kitchen than not.
No Japanese person would ever make ramen at home. The thing is, when I need the cosseting that only a bowl of ramen can give, I'm in no mood for that noise and chaos of a noodle bar.
Uncle Roger have to admit, this is the most beautiful kitchen I've seen. This kitchen too
badass.
sexy. This not atmosphere for making food. This atmosphere for making baby. How many Christmas lights you need to make ramen?
So I make my own. And I start with the Japanese broth, dashi.
Dashi, okay,
Dashi.
correct, good start. But this camera guy, I think he know what he doing. Yes, of course it a he. Why showing us this angle? I think all my nephew, third leg standing up now. Hiya. Pay attention to food, not to the two other things. Niece and nephew, don't be dirty. Uncle Roger watching this video because I like ramen, not for any other reason.
Sure.
Dried shiitake mushrooms already sliced.
Dashi. Nigella is starting strong with a dashi, which is in the family of Japanese stocks. There are many ways to go about it, depending on who you ask. The simplest way is probably using powder, a powder called hondashi, which is probably the most common way. I mean, most places, you know, your run-of-the-mill, like more discount, more family-friendly Japanese style restaurants will typically use that powder. Again, it's called hondashi, but traditionally, you should be making it with bonito flakes or that very thinly sliced dried tuna, super thin like paper, and it's been smoked together with a kombu. So it's those two things. That's basically the foundation of it. I've seen it people add in daikon and some other stuff, but generally it's those two ingredients. If you know any other varietal or by other names, please let me know. I always love to learn, and I've been wrong before on this channel, and this is just as much of a brush up and or a learning experience for me. So let's
see that angle again.
And we are
Uncle Roger, pay
firmly
attention to the
back
food.
in the universe of umami now.
Okay, dried
And
shiitake.
some ginger, a lot of ginger. Some might say an excessive amount of ginger, but I can never have too much of its spicy warmth.
I wouldn't call that excessive.
Okay, I like that she don't even measure. She just use feeling. Or as chef once say, she just throw.
You just throw.
But why this motion at the end? I think this just for camera.
Spirit
when
fingers.
Uncle Roger
It's
say
called spirit
use
fingers.
finger, that's not what I mean. Proper chef, super busy in restaurant. No time for elegant fingering.
So I don't soak the dried mushrooms because I do it as I cook. This needs to come to a boil, but first it'll stir, and I can't, I should be ashamed to admit, eat with chopsticks, but I can stir with one.
You
of
can't
course
eat with
you
chopstick?
can't eat with chopstick.
You
You're supposed to use two of them. I think Nigella don't know how chopstick work. Who stir with one chopstick? So weird. That like wearing only one shoe. Nigella, why don't you give Uncle Roger your phone number and address? I send you my chopstick for free. Ex-wife Auntie Helen, gone for good. So Uncle Roger available.
If I'm not mistaken, this is the gal that Uncle Roger was super into before Esther, right? Or at least that's what I remember. Let me know in the comments.
Just about the one thing I remember from physics at school, thank you, Mr. Clark, is that if you put
chopsticks, invaluable skill. If you don't know how to use chopsticks, I mean, you have no excuse. There's the Chinese restaurant in almost every major town. You can get a free pair. Learn to use chopsticks. Great skill to have, and great kitchen tool as well, by the way.
it comes to the boil faster.
If that's the only thing you remember from physics, then Mr. Clark fucked up. Niece and nephew, don't go to that school.
And it boils. And you can see the mushrooms are beginning to plump up, but they're going to plump up even more and lose their flavour into the broth. So
Wait, what? What? Replay?
they're going to plump up even more and lose their flavour into the broth.
You only put mushroom in broth for 2 minutes and you think it's gonna flavor the broth high. That's not enough time.
I agree.
What reality
Yeah.
you
It
live
needs more
in?
time. It will. After 2 minutes, it'll extract some flavor, but I agree, not nearly enough. It would need more time than that. However, vegetable-based stocks don't require as much time as something like, like a veal stock, which basically requires you to cook it overnight. Veal stock takes longer than a chicken stock, and a chicken stock takes less time than, wait, did I say that right? A chicken stock, takes less time than a veal stock, and a fish stock takes less time than a chicken stock, so on and so forth. You can see a pattern, but veggie stocks bare minimum an hour, in my opinion. I know, like in one of my culinary books, it's right over there, but I'm not going to bother grabbing it. There's a specific time they put for a veggie broth, but for me, generally, like an hour is enough.
They don't even have time to be friends yet. Where's the flavor? You need an hour at least.
Lid on,
Hour.
so
There you go.
everything stays trapped in the pan.
All right, bok choy.
This is baby pak choy.
Oh, that knife technique. The knife technique. The infamous finger on the blade. No. Granted, it is a paring knife, so I'll give her a little bit of a pass. But even then, with a paring knife, I'll generally hold the blade too. You can't do the rocking motion because that's not what it's designed for, but yeah. Get your fucking whack-ass knife-holding technique out of here.
Why her knife so small?
Any leafy greens like
It's called
this
a
would
paring
do.
knife.
Asian cooking, we love using big knife.
Cleaver.
It's faster. Your knife so small, by the time you finish cutting, there will be COVID-20.
Okay, I'm guessing this came out during the height of the pandemic. So Chinese cleavers, they're big blade like this. This is my notebook I carry around everywhere with me. And the general, you control the blade in a similar way. It's obviously a different type of knife. I prefer a Western style knife like a Wusthof or a Henkel. Japanese make knives that are like a classic Western style chef knife as well. Those are awesome. But with a cleaver, one benefit and one downfall is its size and weight. And the good thing about the size and weight is that it works with gravity, right? So like when you're chopping, like the blade almost does some of the work for you. It's also great because it's a big blade, you can use it to scoop stuff up really easily. So it's a different design. You can get the job done with both style of knives. A paring knife is generally used for, smaller jobs, obviously a smaller knife, but it also gives you a little bit more control, and sometimes you need to like scrape something out or dig a little hole into something. A paring knife will do the job. But I almost never use a paring knife. In fact, I don't even think I carry one around with me anymore.
I came back home one evening.
Did she just rip the green
Nigella
parts
is saying to
off?
all the
the
nephews out
leafy
there,
greens?
don't think dirty, or else this is what I'm gonna do to your third leg.
I came back home one evening.
Not a fan
so
of that.
Ravenous.
She's separating the leafy greens from the stem. Interesting.
Opened my cupboards, and this is what I had.
Her fridge only have bok choy.
And-
Hiya.
I am all about the radishes these days.
Radish.
Always have them in the fridge.
Radish and
Food of the
ramen.
gods.
Food of God? No. Food of the God is MSG. God don't like radish. God like magic white powder. I hear Nigella like the magic white powder also.
Oh my God. So Nigella likes to go party and take a few bumps of... Don't do drugs, kids. Drugs are bad.
Food of the gods.
Radish is food of rabbit, not food of God. If radish is food of God, Uncle Roger rather go to hell.
Speaking of hell, if you don't want to go to hell, make sure you hit subscribe, the thumbs up button, leave a comment. That's not true. You're not going to go to hell if you don't do that, but I would greatly appreciate it.
Delicate but deep broth goes.
Not
That's
deep,
not
no
deep.
flavor.
What? I'm not liking where this is going. Not that I was really looking forward to it. You guys have mentioned this video quite a few times in the comments, and it can't be good if you're doing that.
Along with the peppery juiciness of the radishes.
This woman really like her radish. Is she lobbyist for big radish? Usually for
she's making
ramen,
like a
the
veggie
topping
ramen.
and broth you mix separately.
Kinda
Because
whack,
if
though.
bok choy in broth too
Yes.
long, it becomes soggy and
Yes.
gross. Also, nobody really put radish in ramen.
I think what she's thinking is, okay, I ripped off the leafy greens. I'll put that in towards the end so it doesn't wilt too much because the stem requires more time to cook. But Uncle Roger is absolutely correct. You cook these separately. While I haven't worked in a ramen shop, I've made plenty of soup noodles, and generally, you know, there is a big noodle cooker with the baskets that you put into the hole with boiling water. You pop the noodle in there. You have another pot with your ramen broth that's always going. 9 out of 10 times, they're probably using the noodle cooker and blanching the veggies before it goes into the bowl. I guess she's trying to cut out a step. This is something she's, you know, teaching for the home cook. But there's nothing like, other than her using dashi, I don't really see any resemblance of a ramen here. I'm getting more vibes of like almost a wonton noodle soup than I am a ramen.
Gross. Also, nobody really put radish in ramen. Hiya.
And now a final flurry of flavourings to augment what's already in the pan. A husky hit of miso. A husky hit of miso.
Uncle Roger like watching this video because I learning so many new English words. Who knew husky hit just meant tablespoon? This woman English so good. Uncle Roger gonna call it my microwave from now on.
Milk, full fat, which I've warmed in the microwave.
Wait, she really said microwave? Is there anyone out there from the UK who actually says microwave? The hell is wrong with you?
Ash of soy.
Oh, that not enough.
And the merest drop of toasted sesame oil.
No, don't put mirrors
not
drop.
now.
Hiya, you small, so stingy, this woman. Is she trying to save money? Also, she have her own crazy measurement system.
A husky hit of dash and the merest drop.
Hiya, just say use feeling.
Sounds like a Harry Potter potion. The sesame oil, I think that quantity was okay. It looks like that's 1 or 2 portions. Sesame oil is very potent, pungent. A little bit goes a long way. I agree that's not nearly enough soy sauce. I know there's just a lot of missed opportunity here, man. It's not ramen. And you know what that means. It's time to take shots. She ain't making ramen here. That's not ramen. That's just whack. Whack.
The leaves of the baby pak choi go in.
Pak choy.
And another stir.
One chopstick again.
That's like one
The leaves
portion.
need the merest wilting and miso mustn't be boiled.
Miso cannot boil, she
Yeah.
correct. But
Yeah,
this
that's
not
true.
right way to make
Yeah.
flavoring for your ramen
Yeah.
soup. Japanese
Make
people, they
tare.
call this soup flavoring tare.
Yep.
Tare is the most important element in ramen. Ramen without tare is like Uncle Roger without orange polo. Or like Jamie Oliver without chili jam. If your ramen don't have tare, you fucked up. But tare not made like this.
Yeah.
You make the miso tare separately
Yeah.
and then put in bowl at the end.
Yes.
Stirring in miso paste is not making proper tare.
Okay. Yes, I agree. You make a tare and flavor it, whatever, but it goes into the bowl that you're actually serving. So it will go onto the bottom of the bowl and then you pour the broth, or you put the noodle, then you pour the broth, and as the customer eats, you mix it around. However, yes, I agree with how Nigella did it, putting, not boiling it, you know, not beating it up. And again, listen, at the end of the day, if you're cooking for home, do whatever the hell you want. But if you're making a video, just get ready for the internet scorn. I mean, even myself, a professional of nearly 20 years, if I say one thing incorrectly or even one thing that is subjective and one region of a country does it differently from another region, I will hear about it endlessly in the comment section. And that's what you get for being on the internet. Gotta take the good with the bad. The point I was trying to make is if she's making this for herself at home, because that clearly looks like it's a singular portion. All right, sure. Whatever, no one's judging you. You're not making it for any customers. But it would have been just as simple as putting the tare into, or the miso into the bowl that you're about to serve in versus putting it into the pot on camera. And what does that tell me? She don't know what she's doing. I stick mainly with reaction videos because I don't have the time to film cooking videos as often as I'd like because it takes a lot of research and preparation, and I want to make sure I do it right. But a lot of these TV personalities, most of them are, you'd be surprised how much they're fucking winging it. Yeah, what she's making is not ramen.
Nigella, just use MSG. Don't bother with your half-ass miso flavoring. MSG make everything better, including your shit ramen skill.
My ramen requires 2 more elements. First, an egg.
She's so proud of herself.
Egg too white. You need to marinate.
Second, noodles. I mean, I cooked these before.
Noodle. Usually ramen noodle, yellow in color. Why this noodle so white? Kinda sus. I think it not ramen noodle.
But it doesn't matter that they're cold because the heat of the broth will warm them.
I don't necessarily agree with that. All right. God, that looks like shit.
I could eat this just as it is, but I feel it incumbent upon me to arrange it in a calming Japanese order.
What? What the fuck do you know about a calming Japanese order? I'm sorry, like, she's trying to use this, like, bougie language to describe her cooking process and her food, and she's just coming off pompous, man. I don't know how else to say it. Let's talk about the noodles. I agree. It looks a little too light in color. I have seen ramen noodles that are a lighter color. They're not yellow. I do agree that that looks awfully pale to be a ramen noodle, but I have seen lighter colored ramen noodles. Regardless, doesn't matter. I think she said it doesn't matter that they're cold or something along those lines. I disagree with that. I think you should have given the noodles a quick dunk in some hot water, even your broth, and just warmed it up. If the bowl is cold and the noodle is cold and then you pour the broth, what's gonna happen? It's gonna get cold quicker versus having a warm bowl, warm noodles, and you're maintaining the heat. You're basically wasting that effort of building this wonderful, well, not in her case, not ramen broth. You just wasted your effort by serving up a lukewarm bowl of ramen noodles.
Where got calming? Where got calming? This bowl of noodles stressing Uncle Roger out.
Arrange it in a calming Japanese order.
You call this arranging. You're not arranging, you're just poking. Uncle Roger never say, I gonna arrange my table
Japanese
and then go.
order. That's just so bizarre. Such a bizarre way to describe your food. Oh, and then the egg, yes. Yeah, so guessing that's a soft-boiled egg or her attempt at a soft-boiled egg, but it's not even marinated, man. At least just some sugar and soy sauce, something. Give me something to work with. This is not ramen. You guys like the new office setup? I rearranged a bunch of stuff. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'm so pissed.
All that remains for me to do is
Okay, egg yolk a bit runny. It's perfect. I give her that.
sprinkle over the green parts of a spring onion
Spring onion, good, good.
and a little bit of dried
At least she
chili.
can saute it in the
Dry
beginning.
chili.
It looks like Italian red
Uncle
pepper
Roger
flake.
would prefer using dry chili to make your tare instead of
Yeah.
sprinkling at end.
Yeah.
More flavor.
I agree. And she should have used ichimi or shichimi, 7 spice, or, ichimi is just chili flake. That looks like Italian style crushed red chili flake. I do agree with Uncle Roger, missed opportunity. She could have mixed it into the miso, put it into a warm bowl, put the tare, and then topped it with some warm noodles, and then put your broth and arrange in whatever fucking Japanese calming manner. Ugh, whatever.
But I do have a comedy contraption with which to eat my ramen.
Oh my
Is she
God.
using Spock Spoke for ramen. Maybe that's why Nigella don't go to noodle bar anymore. She banned from all of them because she bring her own spork there.
That's a spork.
Fork for the noodles, spoon for the broth.
Oh, is this elementary school? My 7-year-old daughter doesn't even use a spork anymore.
Ramen have 5 components: soup, tare, noodle, topping, and oil. Soup, she used dashi. Okay. Tare don't exist. You can't just put miso in and call it tare. Noodle, it looked like she used wrong type of noodle. Topping, egg and spring onion. Okay. Oil, she only used 2 drops of sesame oil.
I was okay with that. That's literally the only thing I was okay with. I mean, that was a single portion she made there, but that's literally it. Other than that, this is not ramen. This is not ramen.
She only get 2 out of 5 components right. At least this ramen somewhat homemade. She didn't just use instant ramen and put topping on that.
That would have been better than this ramen. That is more like ramen than whatever calming order Japanese wannabe dish that she made. It's not ramen. Are you guys wasted yet?
Still better than Jamie Oliver and his packet rice. Nigella,
that was
Uncle Roger single now. Hopefully one day I can make egg fried rice for you. Come get husky hit of Uncle Roger. Sorry, children.
Alrighty, that's enough of that. I don't even have the heart to try and watch the outtakes. That was not good. If someone is making this for themselves at home, go for it. Just don't put it on the internet. God. Well, I guess put it on the internet. Then it gives guys like myself something to shit talk. That was not ramen. Most of you are probably completely wasted off your asses by now, but that's the point of this, right? Let's have some fun. Not ramen, not particularly great. I would say worse than Jamie Oliver's ramen. Not that I would want to have either of them. Hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. And remember, don't be afraid to fail because it can only make you stronger. And with that said, I am Chef Brian Tsao, not your typical chef, and I'll see you really soon.